My name is Bombo and welcome to the channel. I did have a different studio now. Somewhat of a studio. Put some stuff in the background so it's not boring. So you can look at other things besides my face. I think I'm gonna have to roll the intro now like everybody else in YouTube. Let's go. So I guess we're talking about the boards. The Army specifically, we have boards. We have boards that nobody wants to go. It's nerve-wracking. It's terrible experience. I, for one, hated going to the boards every single time. And there are some videos on YouTube that it's actually really funny. Screw it, I'm gonna show you some of these videos. Check this out.
They say they ready, about to find out. So I swap here. Tell me ready. Take a seat. Oh. What the hell are you doing? Hey, I'm done. I put my exes. I gotta get a picture.
Now, I don't know if these videos are real or not, or they're scripted, but they are really hilarious. And then the crazy part is, when I'm watching these videos, I can kind of relate, because that's how much we dread going to boards as soldiers. Even now, as I'm a first sergeant now, I still hate going to the boards. Now, this video is nothing really revolutionary. It doesn't change anything, but I'd like to share my thoughts about going to the boards and why I still go to the boards and I require my soldiers to go to the boards. I guess I don't have to explain why soldiers don't want to go to the boards. Maybe I just want to go over why we need to go to the boards and why boards are still important. Do I agree with it? No. Do boards make you a better leader, a better soldier? Probably not. And I agree with all those things that a lot of my peers talk about boards. Like, hey, I'm not a board baby. I got promoted without going to the board. So why do I need to go to the boards? And therefore, they don't even require the soldiers to go to the board because they hate going to the boards. And I don't blame them. I, for one, I got kicked out in boards twice, maybe 3 times. The first time I went to the board, I was a private. I was in Korea. And my squad leader just told me, hey, you're going to the board, to the Soldier of the Month. And back then, you have to go to compete in a company and then battalion and so on and so forth. Here, where I'm at, USAREC, you just compete to the battalion and you go to brigade to compete. But at that point, I had to compete at Soldier of the Month. And I was a private, so obviously, you know, I didn't need to go to the board, but he forced me to go to the board. Like, cool, no problem. It was winter and it was so cold, but I was sweating my ass off. And they make you do marching movements when you're in a board, and I was like a robot. Normally you swing your arms, but I was swinging my arms the same way as I'm marching, so I looked like a robot. It was a terrible experience. Obviously, I didn't win. I hated it. And English is my second language, and I just joined the Army, and I think I just got to the States maybe only 2 years, and then I'm supposed to study this entire different regulations in the Army that I had no idea about, and I barely spoke English. And then after that board, I said, no way, I'm never going back and competing those boards. Fast forward years later, I was E4 getting ready for the promotion board because I want to get promoted, obviously, to make sergeant. Now, I was deployed at this point, which is a good thing when it comes to boards, since I didn't have to wear my dress uniforms. It was just really, at that point, it was ACUs. And you just study for the board. As long as you knock down the creeds, since you already got sent there by your command team, more than likely they'll approve you to get promoted unless you really mess it up. So yeah, that was the second time I went to the board, got promoted. And then the third time I went to the board was to make staff sergeant. Still terrible, but I got recommended to go get promoted. Third time. After that, I told myself I will never ever go to the board. Ever. I already got promoted to staff sergeant, so that would be it. I don't need it. Because to make sergeant first class or E7, it's just a board packet. It was just paper board, where they just look at your record and you got selected. Same thing with E8 and E9s. Now I'm a first sergeant and I'm still going to the boards. When I was sergeant first class, I went to the boards and competed the boards, and every single one of them I hated. I got kicked out twice, and I think it was brigade board. Actually, go back. I competed in a battalion. My first sergeant sent me for the station commander of the quarter, and man, I did terrible. I didn't win, but I had a different mentality that time. When I didn't win, I told my first sergeant send me again next quarter. I don't know why. I just did it, and I went, and I couldn't pass battalion, man. I could not pass battalion. It was terrible, but I just kept doing it. And then eventually, because I kept going, I learned. Weird. I actually learned something going to the boards. It's not the boards itself. Well, yeah, I learned something during the board. It was how to be confident and to be loud and proud and articulate the words while you're reciting the creeds. But I did learn while I was studying for it, because I kept going. I keep losing, and I kept going and going and going, and eventually I get to learn. I almost memorized some of the regulations because of that. And then now I'm a first sergeant. I find myself going to the boards more often. Weird. I'm going to share you, though, some of the reasons why I go to the boards now, and I require my soldiers to go, even though it's really, I say require, but they're really not required to go. I influence, but that's what real leadership is, especially at this point in my career, when you're a first sergeant, even especially when you get promoted to E9 or the higher ranking. It emphasizes more the ability to influence soldiers rather than to control them, because controlling them, it's not going to work. It's really influencing. The first reason why now I go more often is that, like I said, I learn more so I can teach more. There's no better demonstration of competence than knowing what you're talking about, and you can reference it in a regulation. Does that make you a better leader, though? No, absolutely not. That's a whole different video. It does make you a lot more knowledgeable. That's it. Knowledgeable and confident. That's what it does. And then you can teach more. I find myself teaching more now because I know more. The second reason why I go to the boards is it gets easier the more I go. That's about it. It gets easier. It used to take me weeks to study. Now all I need is 24 hours, maybe 48. I get to study what I already know, revisit the regulations, and kind of practice more on the creeds that I already know. Kind of know it by heart now because of that. The third reason is T2Y, man. You get to go T2Y. It breaks the monotony of your job, especially in USAREC, where it just keeps going. You have to grind every time, grind every day. It doesn't stop. When I was deployed, when you get back, you got to refit. You got to stand down. I don't know, 2 weeks, maybe a month. But in USAREC, it just keeps going. After the phase line is done, next phase line starts. After the fiscal year is done, next fiscal year starts. No break. Well, you get a break when you take leave. Even then, you still get phone calls. All right, going to the fourth reason, NCOER bullets. I made a video about NCOER bullets, or really it's about how to be competitive or get a better OML number when you're getting looked at for promotion. It's going to be up here. I'll also have it at the end of the video on the cards. When you do compete in boards in the battalion level, even if you don't win, that's an automatic bullet in your NCOER just by showing up. If nobody shows up, which it happens a lot, by default you already win. As long as you don't mess it up, you already the NCO of the quarter. It's almost like a free candy. But we focus more on the NCOER because when we ride them, we always look at what we've achieved during the rating period. But it's only in the bottom piece. You also have develops, you have character, you have what else is there? Intelligence. And appearing in boards, you can literally put that anywhere there. And rather than just focusing on performance, you also you can add it in self-development. So it's a good NCOER bullet. Number 5 reason is winning. To win something. I know a lot of soldiers like, oh, I really don't want to win, or I don't care about winning, I don't care about accolades. They're lying. You're lying to yourself. If you're one of those, you're lying to yourself. You know you want to win at something. Everybody does. It's human nature. Whether you say it that you don't want to, deep inside you do. And I've seen it every time and again. I'm not going to lie. It feels good. You know, especially in this job in USAREC where recruiting is so difficult right now. You fail more than you succeed, and to win something outside that, it's a morale booster. And if it's a morale booster for me, it's a morale booster for the majority of my troops, and that's just a fact. And the last reason why I compete in boards as a first sergeant is because the Army told me so. It's literally written on DA PAM 600-25 and every smart book in every MOS. It actually states that you have to compete in brigade or higher. That's it. And it actually itemizes different boards. There's Sergeant Autumn Murphy. There's so many of them, but it does tell you to go to the board. The Army did tell me that. It's written. So those of you who doesn't want to go, that's fine. It's DAPAM anyway. It's not Army regulation. Army regulation, if it's in Army regulation, then you have to do it because it's a regulation. A DAPAM kind of like a guide. Now, if you want to be competitive, then you will go to the board. And really, at the end of the day, I send my soldiers and they show up for boards. What kind of first sergeant would I be if I don't go with them? So if they go and I told them to go, well, my ass needs to go. And I always tell them, you'll hate me now, but you'll thank me later. Well, that's the video for today. I hope that you found value in it. This is not revolutionary, what I'm telling you, but if it stirs something up in your head and makes you think about competing, that was my whole intention of making this video. And there's no secret in competing to the boards, by the way. It's the same everywhere you go. You just gotta study, you gotta practice, you gotta invest time and effort, and you wanna win. I heard people say, hey, all you gotta do is be confident. True. But the best way to be confident is to feel that you're ready. If you feel that you're not ready, your confidence is just going to be out the window. If you feel like you're ready, your confidence level goes up. Now, if you found value in this video, do me a favor and hit the like button down below here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, please do. It tells me that what I'm doing is actually working, so I can create more content like this. And if you don't want to subscribe, that's fine too. I'm a very small channel. I'm still learning this YouTube. As long as I keep doing it like the boards, you know, I suck in the last one. As long as the next one is better and better, I'll just make some more. Eventually, I'll probably get monetized. I hope. Then I can retire. I don't think that's enough money to retire anyway. Yeah, if you have something too that you want to add in this video, just write it down here in the comments. If you hate this video, write it there too. My name is Bombo. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm going to roll the... Is it outro? Yeah, I think it's outro. Intro, outro. Excuse me.